Welcome back to Video Rental Chaos. Today, Freddy Krueger is back, and he's trading in his dreams for some real-world chaos. That's right, because I stopped off at my local video store and I rented Wes Cravens New Nightmare. So grab your popcorn and make sure to grab a nightlight because Freddy's here to crash the party, and he didn't even RSVP. Everybody, let's get ready for a ride because today we're diving into a Freddy movie that isn't just about dreams, but about dreams coming to life. We're talking about Wes Cravens New Nightmare that's celebrating 30 years today. Yeah, that's right, the one where Freddy is so done with being stuck in the movies, he decides to break into the real world and ruin everybody's day. It's Freddy with no jokes, no mercy, and all the glove action that you can handle. Plus, if you think horror movie funerals can't get any weirder, well, just wait. So without further ado, let's jump right on into Wes Craven's New Nightmare. We start off with Heather Langenkamp, who played Nancy in the original movie, having this nightmare about Freddy's glove coming to life on a movie set and attacking people. But then she wakes up. It's just a dream. Or is it? Right away, you can tell this movie is playing with reality. Freddy's trying to escape the movie world and get into the real world. Heather starts getting these creepy phone calls, and her son Dylan is acting weird talking about Freddy Krueger. Plus, her husband Chase is working on a new Nightmare movie that he hasn't told her about. And it seems like this movie is under Freddy's influence and is creeping into their lives. This is where things get real dark. Chase is driving home late at night when he falls asleep at the wheel. Freddy's glove pops up in his dream, slashing at him, and Chase crashes the car. Freddy kills him in his sleep, just like in the original movies. It's brutal and sudden. Heather finds out about his death and it hits hard. At the funeral, things go from sad to straight up creepy. Heather is mourning her husband, but then she has this terrifying vision of Freddy Krueger attacking her right there at the gravesite. It's one of those moments where you're not sure if it's real or just a dream, which makes it even scarier. You can see how Freddy's influence is everywhere, even in the real world. Now that Chase is dead, Freddy starts going after Heather and Dylan. And this Freddy, he's not the wisecracking version from the later sequels. He's dark, creepy, and more dangerous than ever. Heather's trying to hold it together while protecting Dylan, but Freddy keeps showing up in their lives. There's a scene where Heather calls Robert Englund in order to talk about what's going on, and it seems like everybody knows that Freddy is lurking in reality, as Robert takes off the next day when Heather tries to get in contact with him again in order to meet with him that day, slowly turning everything into a nightmare. Things get even more tense when Heather takes Dylan to the hospital because he's acting super strange, like he's possessed by Freddy. The doctors think Heather's losing it, blaming her for everything. But Freddy's power is growing, and you can see he's got control over Dylan now. But Heather does meet up with Wes Craven, and this is where the movie gets real meta. Wes explains that Freddy is actually an ancient evil force, and the Nightmare on Elm Street movies have kept him contained. But now that the movies have ended, Freddy is trying to break free into the real world. It's such a cool twist, making Freddy feel more like a true force of evil rather than just a movie villain. Freddy finally makes his big move, coming for Dylan and dragging him into the dream world. Heather has no choice but to face Freddy one more time, just like she did as Nancy. The tension is off the charts as she tries to save her son from Freddy's clutches. In the final battle, Heather dives into Freddy's twisted nightmare world to save Dylan. It's dark, fiery, and intense. She has to confront Freddy in this hellish dreamscape, and it feels like a throwback to the original movie, but with higher stakes. She defeats Freddy, and the nightmares finally end for now. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a very special movie to me, as it was the first Nightmare on Elm Street film that I actually saw in theaters, and it was magical. I remember begging my mom to take us, and when she did, it was an experience I'll never forget. It really seems like my mom was really the one who pushed me into horror, and I love her forever for that. This movie is seriously underrated though. People overlook it because it's different from the other Freddy movies, but that's exactly why it works. Wes Craven brought Freddy back to being scary, and the whole movie within a movie idea was ahead of its time. Plus, anyone who talks trash about this movie, yeah, they're dumb. They don't get how clever and creepy it really is. If you haven't watched a New Nightmare in a while, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's got that perfect mix of nostalgia and genuine horror that makes it a hidden gem within the series. So the next time you're sitting down writing a movie script, be really careful, as you don't want to invite them into real life. And until next time, I'll see you at the video store.